but also increasingly based on whether it affords the investor a control point in the Canadian economy that should cause us concern. And increasingly, we're not in the world that we were in, 10 years ago. We're in a world in which we've got to look out for ourselves. We've got to know that we can produce the things that Canada needs in order to be able to maintain our independence, our sovereignty, and our economy. So I think we should be open to Chinese investment, but I think that we need to give careful scrutiny to any proposed investments and assess whether we think that the target is warranted, whether the investment is going to produce a benefit for Canadians, and whether it creates any kind of supply chain or other choke point that we would find difficult to live with.
Are you surprised then that Donald Trump has initially said he supports this?
Well, am I ever surprised by something Donald Trump does or say? I'd say he's completely unpredictable, so I've stopped being surprised by it. Did I expect him to say that? I think it would have been more likely that he grumble about it, and as some of his officials have. But I also have a sneaking suspicion that in the next few weeks, we're going to see some kind of trade agreement between China and the United States. So, Donald Trump has never been afraid of contradicting himself, in the same period of time, not sometimes in the same sentence, but I think he maybe has in mind that he's hoping to get a deal with China as well, and it would be a peculiar message to send in advance of that.
Hi guys, happy Sunday, and welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. But before going with today's video, since it's a Sunday, I demand that thumbs up. You hit that thumbs up right there, right there. Thank you, guys. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. You see, milestones and momentum, how recent success signal a new dawn for US-China trade and EV industry. In a week marked by significant economic cross currents, two seemingly distinct events have combined to create a wave of optimism for international trade and technological exchange. Chinese electric vehicle pioneer NIO celebrated a monumental achievement, 50,000 deliveries of its flagship ES8 model, and it was showcased on Weibo, guys, which is again genius, using social media to bring awareness, demonstrating the blistering pace and sophistication of China's EV sector. Simultaneously, former President Donald Trump publicly applauded the new trade deal reached between China and Canada, calling it a good deal. That's his own words, guys, not mine. And a positive step. You see, you can only bully who you're allowed to bully. But when you realize you cannot bully, you yourself will have to humble yourself and come to the table. Together, these developments cast a promising light on the potential for a breakthrough in US-China trade tensions. And I've always said minor speed bumps here, haven't I, guys? Yes. Some people say they will never come to America. Okay, just like Toyota, we will. Particularly as Trump prepares for an upcoming visit to Beijing, they suggest a pathway where American consumers could finally gain access to the innovative electric vehicles rolling off China assembly lines. You see, in the West, we love touting capitalism and not socialism. Well, prove it. NIO's achievement, a testament to quality and demand. NIO's milestone of 50,000 ES8 deliveries is not just a corporate victory. It's a signal to the world. The ES8, a premium smart electric SUV, competes directly with offerings from Tesla, Audi, and BMW. Reaching this sales figure underscores that Chinese EVs have moved beyond more affordability. They are now desirable. Yes, BYD was just affordability. NIO is desirability and affordability combined. High-tech products winning over discerning consumers. This maturity of the industry provides a solid foundation for any trade discussion. It means the US market wouldn't be opening its doors to untested products, but to vehicles that have proven their mantle in a fiercely competitive arena. The Canada-China blueprint, a model for mutual benefit. President Trump's positive reaction to the Canada-China deal is particularly telling. It indicates an appreciation for pragmatic agreements that serve national economic interests. The deal, which sees China reopen its market to Canadian beef and pork while Canada extends duty-free access on some Chinese goods, is a classic example of trade resolving disputes and fostering mutual gain. This win-win framework is exactly the philosophy China advocates for and is likely to present during the upcoming talks. Trump's acknowledgement suggests a potential openness to applying similar pragmatic principles to the US-China relationship. If a deal with Canada, which had its own tensions with China, is possible and praised, its logical follows that a focused, fair deal with the United States is within reach. The forthcoming visit, a historic opportunity for the auto industry. This sets the stage for President Trump's visit to China as a potential historic moment for the automotive industry. One of the most persistent points of contention has been market access. American automakers have long sought better entry into China, with Chinese EVs, like those from NIO, have been largely locked out of the US market by existing tariffs. A forward-looking trade understanding could change this for the US, allowing competitively priced, technologically advanced Chinese EVs could accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles, bolster supply chain diversity, and provide American consumers with more choice. Yes, freedom to choose, something we have lost, putting downward pressure on prices in a key growth sector. For China, it would represent a monumental endorsement of its manufacturing and innovation capabilities. President Trump, with his focus on economic performance and deal-making, is uniquely positioned to view this not through an ideological lens, but a practical one. The success of the Canada deal and the undeniable quality evidenced by companies like NIO provide a compelling business case. An agreement that opens the US to Chinese EVs while securing concrete enforceable improvements in market access and intellectual property protection for American companies in China would be a legacy-defining achievement. In conclusion, towards a new era of competitive cooperation, the triumph of NIO and the successful Canada-China pact are powerful indicators that the time is ripe for a recalibration. They prove that China is a reliable partner in fulfilling trade agreements and a powerhouse in the industries of the future. As President Trump engages with Chinese leadership, there is a palpable opportunity to move beyond the friction of the past and craft a new chapter. A deal that welcomes Chinese electric vehicles to American shores would be more than a trade policy shift. It would be a recognition of global innovation, a boom for consumers, and a bold step towards integrating the two largest economies in the world in the critical arena of green technology. The momentum is building, and the upcoming visit may well be the moment it reaches its positive tipping point. So I've always said, guys, minus speed bumps. Donald Trump, in his volatility and the way he do business, is still yet a deal maker. When he sees that he's dealing with a strong arm, he humbles himself. It has been proven before, time and time again. So is it so far-fetched to think that a deal cannot be made? No, a deal will be made. I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, boop, boop, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.